following video, you're going to see some comparisons between a cell phone and 3 cameras for pictures, video, and green screen effects. I want to go through and test them and see what the differences are. I'm not a professional photographer, so everything I do is amateur. Keep that in mind if you go to criticize. And hopefully, maybe I can learn something along the way, and maybe there's something you can learn from it too. So let's get started. I'm in my studio. I got my green screen set up behind me. I've got a light softbox on each side of the green screen to light it up. I have a hair light behind me above the green screen. I have my key light to my left, my fill light to my right, so I got all my studio lights running. I want to see how all these videos come out on the different cameras that compare them. I only got one camera that does really good zoom, so I'm going to have to use wide field of view on all of them and compare them. Right now I am using my phone. I've never used my phone for shooting video, so I want to see how it does as well. And I want to see how hard it is going to be edit green screen out. First one I'll be trying after this one is this little Polaroid IEX29. I believe this shoots 1080p at 30 frames per second. It does have a little bit of zoom on it, but we're not going to use that. I'm just going to have them all its field of view set. I'm at arm's length from it, and see how everything comes out. See how hard it is to edit green screen, because I know there's some I'm going to have to do some tricks on the green screen, because I noticed the one had a wider field of view when I was setting up the test a while ago. Okay, that will be the first one. The sound on that one is an issue, so if I don't get sound on it, I might have to re-record it and record with another device and sync the sound. The next one I'll be trying is my Coolpix B500. This has a 40x zoom. It's really good for shooting video for green screen, because I can get the camera way back away from me, zoom in, and then I can keep the whole green screen in there and not have to worry about it. It works really well for that. Problem I've found is if I move around, I have issues. I've tried all the focus settings and autofocus and all this, and if I move, it gets fuzzy for a second. And that's really the only thing I don't like. It's great for taking photos. The other camera I'll be testing is this GoPro I got yesterday. It's a Hero 5 Black Edition. I'll be filming all these in 1080 at 30 frames per second. This can do 4K, but I'm not going to go up this high for this test. I don't want to compare them all equally. Try to get the settings as close as I can. White balance and all that. And as I go through, I'll explain the lighting in here and what I've had to set the white balance at. So with that said, let's switch over to the Polaroid. Okay, this is the Polaroid. I've got it set at ISO 400, exposure value at 0. Everything I could adjust, I adjusted. I'm going to try to use all these cameras on the same settings, see how they compare. I do not have anything zoomed. It looks like from the screen in the back it's a little too bright. But I do have the whole green screen behind me instead of edges of it, which I know one camera, when I was trying to set this up, I'm going to have issues there. So we'll see how this one works out. This one did not have sound last time I tried it. We're going to do a comparison between this and the Coolpix, and when I went to sync the videos, I usually give a clap, and that sharp noise, I can go in the audio, line those two up, and then everything syncs up right. Well, when I did it with this one, I had them both running, did the clap, just had no sound. So I hope I have sound. We'll see. Okay. Let's go to the Coolpix next. Okay, here we are with the Nikon, the Coolpix. I had to put the exposure value at +1 on it because in the back of it, it really looked too dark. And according to the histogram, I'm still a little too dark. If I put the histogram on this thing where it's supposed to be, to me it looks really washed out. I'm going to have to test that one of these days and compare that and see. Now the focus on this thing, that's the one thing I do not like about this camera for video. Like I said, I'm shooting 1080 at 60 or at 30 frames per second. I got the ISO set at fixed range between 125 and 400. There's no shutter or aperture setting for this. So pretty much what I see is what I get here. Exposure value has probably been the one that helps me the most. Problem is I'm colorblind, so I have a really hard time telling when the color's right, when it's not. That's why I don't like when I go into post-production trying to change colors or anything like that, because color blindness, I can't tell what I'm doing. So I just try to get my original video as close as I can, upload it and put it into YouTube or whatever in my software. I just stitch or cut the video. I don't mess with color or anything in that in post-production because I'm afraid I'll screw it up. And that corner down there where this cheap green screen tore, I'm going to have to edit that out. So we'll see how that comes out. About this, well, I'm going to do a review on this light set, and this green screen actually really sucks. I like the lights, but the green screen is terrible. Like I just pulled on it and that corner ripped right out of it. Okay. This one has pretty good sound, I think. So I think we're done with this one. I'll swap over to the GoPro and we'll go from there. Okay, this is the GoPro I bought yesterday. Got a really good deal on it with the package it came with and everything. It's set the same spot as all the others. Right now I have it 1080, 30 frames per second. I have the shutter speed at 1/60th right now because I am shooting at 30 frames. So I tried to, video you're supposed to double, you know, and all that. I think that might be able to go a little higher and brighten it up a little bit because it does in the LCD screen look a little dark. I have the white balance set to sunlight or 5500K. Because that's what these lights are set at. These are 5500K lights for color warmth. So that's in the sunlight range. So when I'm using these lights, I set on my camera settings for sunlight instead of incandescent or something like that. And you can really tell a difference with these lights. If I walk in any other room with any other light bulb on, you can see it looks yellow as heck. Like if I step outside right now, my lights outside, everything looks yellow after being in here with these, because these are more like sunlight. I noticed that when I set this up, I didn't want to have to edit anything out of the bottom of the green screen because it makes it really difficult. If I move my arms out below the bottom, my hand or whatever disappears. When in that edit when you do that. So I'd rather edit it out of the top, and that way I can cut that out. But the problem is, in this camera you can see that light above me. It seems to have the widest field of view of all the cameras because they're all sitting on the same tripod, set in the exact same spot. I'm afraid that's going to cause some light flare there. So this camera might not be too good for working green screen and backgrounds and stuff. Another thing about this I don't like for work like this would be there's no zoom on this whatsoever. I set it in linear mode for field of view because I do not like the fisheye look. I have a drone that has a camera that films 1080p, beautiful color and everything, but it has that fisheye. Where I take my DJI Phantom 4 Advance and go 400 feet in the air and you don't see no curvature at all. It looks natural. And so I like the natural look. I don't like that fisheye stuff. I guess for action cams, they like the fisheye for, you know, certain things, but I don't care for it myself. Guess that's it. I'll put this video together and see how these cameras look. Okay, now we're outside. I'm going to do all the cameras on auto, on the automatic setting, because it's in the 20s out here right now, and my fingers freeze up before I get the camera setting. And thick gloves don't help. Don't help with being able to make adjustments. So everything's going to be on auto. As before, I'm starting out with the Galaxy S5 phone camera, and we'll see how this comes out. This is, like I said, it's 20 degrees out here. It's a cold, cloudy day, a lot of snow, so I'm wearing black, and we got a lot of white around me, so we'll see how it comes out. I'm standing probably 10 feet from the camera or so. Figure this time we can get a better wide shot of everything. Okay, I've a little Polaroid now. I had to adjust it a little bit to get me in frame correctly. All these cameras aim just a little bit different apparently, or at least that one does. I'm also recording this on the phone because the audio on that, I don't think it's going to come out. I'm going to have to sync them together. And I should have made a flap. I don't have one. I'll just, maybe I can get the histogram and sync them up that way. Okay, I've taken a picture with this, and I've taken a picture with all of them at the end. We'll compare photographs from all the cameras, like again, stock settings or default settings, because it is cold out here, and even just a few seconds I had to take my gloves off to mess with the camera there. My fingers are cold, so, and my toes are starting to get a little chilly too. So with that, we're going to move on to the next camera. Okay, with the Nikon, second time, because the first time I hit record, for some reason it didn't start record. Sometimes that camera seems to do that. I don't know if it's me or the camera. It's probably me. And I hear my ham radio run my truck. I got to turn that off as soon as this is done. So we'll take a picture with this one, compare all the pictures at the end like I said. I want to move around a lot with this camera to see how the focus is. I should have done it with the others, but the other videos will show that as well. So I don't think there's too much problem. Alright, let's move to the GoPro. Okay, out here with the GoPro now. Cool thing I like about this is I can use my camera to check my frames, see if I'm in the frame right or not, and actually control the camera from the phone. I can also control it through voice, tell it certain things. I can't say it because if I do, the camera will react because I have voice control turned on. Last night when I was doing the green screen test and stuff inside, there's a couple of times I was in the middle of it and the camera would beep and I'd look and it'd quit recording, and at the time I had voice control turned on, so I don't know, so I had to turn it on like twice. Finally turned voice control off and I didn't have that problem anymore. So I don't know if I said something that activated it to do something, which I shouldn't have. I must have accidentally said it and not realized it or something maybe, and the camera reacted, stopped recording. But right now it seems to be working fine. I haven't said the word GoPro yet, so it didn't just take a command, but just because I said that, you're supposed to say certain words. Like if you say start recording, you gotta say GoPro first. So maybe while I was talking about, I might have said something. I don't think so. But anyway, it's cold out here. Gotta take a still picture, and tonight we'll put these together, and at the end of all these I'll give a summary of what I thought about all the videos, and show you the green screen before and after I added the effects, and in the summary say what I had to do to get them to come out the way they did. So this is it. I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one. Now let's look at the photos from the cameras. First we're going to look at the out-of-date old Galaxy S5. This photo, it looks actually pretty good. It on the automatic shot settings, it made a 4.4 megabyte file. It shot at 1/15 of a second at f2.2 4.8 millimeter with an ISO 400. It's shot in 5312 by 2988 pixels. This is automatic settings. I'm not a professional photographer. I'm just learning a lot of this stuff as well. Next one is from the Polaroid. This picture doesn't impress me very much. It looks a little dark. It's okay, I guess. It's made a 2.8 megabyte file. The dimensions on that one, it was 4896 by 3672. It's shot 1/8 second, f3.3 with an ISO of 400. And here is the Nikon photo. It's a pretty good picture, I think. I mean, automatic settings, good color and everything to me anyway. I'm colorblind a little bit. I'd see certain colors, but it's still to me the cell phone looks a little better for some reason. This one shot in 4608 by 2592 pixels, 1/8 second, f3 at 4 millimeter at an ISO of 400. I notice all of them have been ISO 400 so far. And finally, the GoPro. It's more square like the Polaroid to me. I think it's better color and everything than the Polaroid was. I don't think it's as good as either the cell phone or the Nikon. It made a 3.5 megabyte file. Dimensions or pixels is 4000 by 3000. 1/30th of a second. Shutter speed f2.8, 3 millimeter, ISO of 1548. Now that tells me if I actually looked at this thing in full size that it would be pretty grainy. I don't know why it would pick such a high ISO when all the others selected a 400. Maybe I had them limited at 400, but a couple of those cameras, like the phone and the Polaroid, I had no control over the ISO, so it's a little strange that this one picks such a high one. Maybe it's a smaller sensor in the camera. As far as video editing for the green screen, the
Probably the easiest two were probably the cell phone and the Nikon. I didn't have to cut as much out with those to make the video, to make the green screen work properly. The Polaroid was the most work trying to get everything straightened out because it shoots in 1440 by 1080, where the other three cameras shot in 1920 by 1080, so it was squished at the sides. So if you'll notice in the regular video before I put the green screen in, you'll see the sides are black. That's because the picture's more square. When I put it into the green screen effects, I wanted to make that, didn't want those black edges, so I had to do some editing to get those, widen that out. Also, you may notice that I zoomed in on some of the shots between green screen and regular, because instead of trying to edit tops and bottoms out where there was no green screen or light not hitting it right, I just zoomed in software before I did the green screen edits. So that brought it in where there was a lot of editing work I did not have to do. Most of them were about the same as far as getting the green out. I think two hardest were probably the GoPro and the Polaroid. I was really impressed with the cell phone camera. I've never really shot any video with that, once or twice maybe, and never really looked at it on computer or anything. I never edited it for YouTube or anything like that. And like I said, the Polaroid I had used once before for a YouTube video, once or twice, and then I lost it. Went out and bought the Nikon. I was going to go buy a $60 camera and walked out with a $300 camera. And then found the Polaroid again. So I guess it's kind of a happy accident if you want to spend $300 on a camera. I will put links to all these cameras in the description so you can look up the specs on them. I'm not going to go through all the specs on them. Like I said, the cell phone's way outdated. The Polaroid's just a cheap $60 camera that I bought for my wife for Christmas probably 3-4 years ago. I just bought the Nikon this year, and it was about $300. And the GoPro I bought the other day off Facebook. It was still brand new in the box, and I got a heck of a deal on it. I won't say how much I paid for it, but I got a good deal. Those usually run between, right now, the Hero 5 Black is running somewhere between what I'm seeing $200 and $300, because I have the Hero 7s out now, so you're looking as much or more for one of those than what I paid for the Nikon. So there we have. They have the comparisons. Let me know what you think about them. One thing, I have some questions for you. Try to guess which camera I'm filming on now. Keep in mind, I could have done a lot of edits in software when I made this video, or I could just be bringing you stock footage right from the camera. The only time I did edits on any of the other videos was during green screen. Everything else was just like it came out of the camera. I did no color corrections, nothing like that. I never do, because I'm colorblind and I'm afraid I'll screw it up. Now keep in mind also that I could have used software to zoom in on myself. I could have used video from one camera, audio from another camera, stuff like that. So which camera do you think I'm using right now? Put it in the comments below and let me know, and after a week or two I'll tell everybody the truth of what's going on here. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye.